Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. Guys, I didn't put up the model. Wait a second. Hello guys, how are you doing? Sorry about this. I'm so sorry about this. There you go. I was like, when I switched the scenes, I was like, oh, there's something missing. What is that? Like a giant something missing. Oh, what is that? Okay, so how are you guys doing? Today we're gonna do the lake anatomy first, and I hope your practice is doing well. Feel free to contact like DM or like voice chat me if you need any more help. I can see that you already like the first row is gonna be bumpy because like you are beginning to learn some anatomy and like it's really hard to do without a solid drawing background. So yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy ride, but after that I have full confidence that you're gonna be really great. And like think of it like you're gonna do the hard part first, and then when later on you're gonna just fly through all the obstacle because you have the concrete anatomy skills to back you up, rather than like me, I have to go back and brush up the skills as needed. Or you can always brush up the skills as needed, but like have a foundation that's always helps. Okay. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna go through something and what we're gonna do, what we're not gonna do, and yeah, let me also, where is my notes, my extensive notes? Okay, now today we're gonna talk about the leg. We are not gonna talk about the foot. Okay, the foot is another topic. We are gonna talk about the thigh, the calves, and then the knee, or specifically how the knee move in motion, like bending or like stretching out. So we're going to talk about that. So it's going to be a long stream. Okay, I did have a lot of notes on this, and I think like this is going to be a really extensive anatomy. If you have been like my past couple workshop stream, you're gonna know it's gonna be an really anatomy focused, like muscle focused. It does help. I don't know if this is a right way to approach for as a beginner, but like I think the have like a certain amount of idea what going underneath the skin, like the muscle groups, how it moves, it actually helps you visualize it and drawing it from imagination rather than like you just know there is something there but you don't quite put your finger on it, then you're gonna be struggling. So it does help, but like it's a lot of information, so I'm gonna be a little bit warning. It's gonna be a lot of informations, and if I explain something that is not clear enough, just let me know, okay? And I today there is a lot of like those medical terms or something like that. I forgot how to pronounce them already, so if you know how to pronounce them, let me know. If you don't, I'm just gonna write it down and like yeah. I'm sorry if I mispronounce some of the like the professional terms. Can you check Discord topic 4? Yes, I can. Let me pull up my phone. Also, how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing okay. Today we are not doing a an art stream. We are doing a workshop stream. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Sorry about that. I have to answer the door there for a second. Today may be the first day that you can follow along the workshop. Hello. Sorry, I was out there with it. Did you check? Yes, I did. I'm gonna check now. I have to answer the door. Sorry about that. Okay, let me check. You're getting a lot better. I can tell. Like the foundation is already there. If you don't mind, would you mind with me like downloading the image and then like maybe importing it in Clipstilo Paint, and maybe we can set up a time for the voice chat and I can like mark over where like do like a correcting kind of thing, if you don't mind. Marius, thank you for the alert. And Marius. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, you can? Yeah. Horizon is here. Horizon is here. Yuzang is here. Everybody is here. Yay. Okay. Oh. Okay. So, we are gonna be busy today. Also, Harsh, if you have like a time, tell me like when we do the voice chat. Okay, let me know. Okay. Just tell me when. Okay. Now. Okay. First, let's talk about what we're gonna do today. What is this? Okay. Now we're gonna talk about something, which is like how we simplify forms and like and then we move on to anatomy, and then we're gonna move on to how to sketch it properly. So first we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna focus on the leg today. And we're also gonna be talking about really intensive anatomy, so yeah, keep in mind of that. Okay. Now I'm gonna use this one here. Don't mind all the drawings. I just want you to look at the shape a little bit. Okay, I just want you to look at the shape. Don't mind all the notes and things. Like we don't need to know about that right now. Let me duplicate. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is look at the shapes. Okay. As you can see, there is some let me actually as you can see, there is some like lines, like a different shapes here. I think we talked about this a little bit on the brief anatomy workshop beforehand. Like before, I think topic, is it 2 or I forgot which topic it was. But like I think we talked about this a little bit, but we're gonna go through them again. First, we need to break down the leg in a simplified form, right? So can I actually like this? Hello, Blank. Hello. Thank you for the hugs. Thank you. We're doing a workshop. It's gonna be cool. Okay, now here. Now, you can kind of see this. It's like a C shape. This is what we call like the CSI line. Okay. So what you want to do is like figure out some shapes here. We talked about like breaking it down into simplified forms. I'm gonna draw like a little bit here, like the leg here. Right? We talked about this. and talk about this, right? Simplified forms, like a deform the cylinder, and then like a ball joint. Now what we're gonna do on this is like we're gonna turn this into like a more detailed muscular, have like muscle on it. We're gonna turn this into this. And I think what you need to focus on is like, first there is the relationship in between. They are like, you can say call this a line, you can call this a C, whatever you want to call it, but like they are not symmetrical, okay? They are not like this. Now this wouldn't be looking good because like when you're a organic shape, organic life form, you are not symmetrical. This is what feels off if you're like drawing anatomy and something like, it may be correct, but it still feel kind of clunky if there's the word on it. So this is not this is like too symmetrical, okay? How do I say? Too symmetrical, okay? So this is not what we're not gonna do this. We are gonna do like a flow with like this type of shapes. So offset, okay? Offset. For more fluid feeling, okay? No problem with legs, thank you. Thank you, okay? And I think like a more easy way to see this is actually a side view. So when you're doing a side view, unfortunately I don't have a reference, so I'm gonna draw it quickly. Wait a second, okay? I'm gonna exaggerate it a little bit. Yes. Now you can see this kind of like this, okay? What we do here is like I'm gonna use different colors, so it's like, so this is a more like a rule of the thumb. It's like you have like a curved line here, and then like a straight line here, and then straight line here. So this is more like in the CSI line, right? So the blue one being like a C kind of, and then like the orange being like a straight line, and then the S curve, what we're gonna talk about is here, right? So this is the flow, okay? So the S curve can actually be here, right? So this is the flow. What we're gonna talk about is the flow, helping more flow with fluid. That's what we're gonna talk about. And don't mind all the, you know, don't mind all the notes. We are only gonna talk about like this. So focus on the flow. This is what's gonna help, and also do it in like an asymmetrical way, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. Now, we are gonna talk about something. Where is my thing? Okay, I'm gonna use this one. Now there is some landmarks that we can do here. Just a quick landmark. We are not going to talk about the anatomy. We're just talking about some landmarks. Okay. This is like a quick visual guide you have in mind when you draw like lakes, just like a really rough shape. Okay. Now here you can see this here. Now the outer curve of the calf muscle is actually higher, right? So this one is really important. Okay. But like the ankles, I don't know how to call this one thing, but like the bone here on your ankles or like on your joints here is actually the vice versa. So this is a little bit quick landmark to, you know, keep in mind. This is where we call like the section of like the tibia and the fibula meet the foot. Okay, so this is don't mind that, just remember there is like a section here. You can actually feel it on your body, like the bony part. It's like positioned this way. Okay, this will change a little bit. I did do some exercise. Keep in mind that like when you're doing it like in a perspective or something, it may become like a level, like, you know, depends on your viewpoint, but like in general, keep in mind like this. Okay. Now the tibia is the shin bone. Okay, the shin bone here, tibia. This is where you feel like the excruciating pain when you just bump into something. That part. Okay, remember that part. Remember that part. Everybody has like once in their while bump into a thing, and then you're like, dear holy God, that is the most painful thing that I've ever felt in my life. Yeah, that part. Now this is actually where a surface bone, you can actually feel it on your body. It's like not that many muscle around it, so it's kind of really visible. And this line here, this straight line here, is actually going to help us, like if you're drawing a really muscular body, but it's actually help you make it feel more like organic feeling, at least from my experience. Okay. Now this here is called the great, I don't know how to pronounce it. Partner. It's gonna be here. Okay, there is like a bone here, right? You can further see this when there is like an anatomy drawing I'm gonna show you in a later view. It's actually there's a bone here. Okay, it's a femur. Okay, so this is actually like a kind of bumpy side out. Okay, because there is a bone here. Okay, so a little bit here you can see like here. So this is a little bit, you know, just a little bit details. If like, especially when you draw male, female you can kind of get away with it, but like especially when you want to draw kind of muscular toned bodies, this type of details really helps. Okay, and also keep in mind the overlapping lines. When you draw muscle, there is a lot of overlapping lines. Okay, by overlapping lines I mean is that like here, overlapping lines. The thing about overlapping lines is that in order for you to make a part appear front, you overlap it on top of the other line. Okay, you just call it angle technically, yeah. But like they have like a lot of medical terms or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, but I just remember there is like a bony side here, and then the landmarks is that the calf muscle is like in a tilted angle, the ankle is at a tilted angle. Just remember those things. Also there's a line in tibia bone. It's gonna help out a lot. Okay. Now any question right now? I don't think there is, right? Overlapping lines is that I'm gonna write down some notes here. Okay, I'm gonna write down some notes. Overlapping lines is like this. Okay, when you draw a thing, you want this part here to be forward, right? So then you like overlap it a little bit. This is really crucial when you're drawing muscles. Like if I'm just doing it like this, forgive me of my okay, I'm gonna do it properly. Okay, so if I'm gonna do it like this, you can't really tell which part is the front, right? Like it's just like a flat image in short. But if I add like a line here, this is actually a muscle that we're gonna cover later, like here. So if I had a line here, you can tell this part is actually front, right? This part here. So this is what we call like the overlapping lines, okay? This is really important. Not right now, and it's for you. Okay, thank you for the feedback. Now, I don't think I need any notes here. Do I need to write any notes here? Listen and learn. Yeah, I'm gonna keep like the I'm gonna keep the whole lesson going forward. I don't think I need to write down any notes. I want to determine, do I need to write down anything? Like if I post this on like a forum, would like be too nah. What is it? Okay. This. Okay. And then there should be like this bone is really visible. Okay. And then here is like a bit bumpy. Okay, just remember this is like a layman's term. Okay. Hello, Skywood. Now, we're gonna talk about some muscles on here, on this chart here. You can see this one here. This part. This one is really crucial. It's really helped like bring the shape together. Like it's called a Sartorius, I don't know. It's that. There's like a line, okay? It separates the adductors from the quad muscle of the leg, and notice the change in direction. Now, this is the abductors, okay? This part is the abductor, and this part is the quad, okay? And then this part is the quad. Really simplified form, but like this is like there is a muscle here that separates this, and this is actually change the shape of the like the direction of it a little bit, okay? Why? I'm gonna do it in like so when you're drawing it like this, you go like this, right? The thigh, and then maybe we add like a I'm gonna exaggerate it a little bit. Now, this is a really important thing. We are doing it this way, right? Doing it this way. But then we go out. Because there is a muscle there. Okay? I'm gonna in a more exaggerated way. Kind of like this. Okay? So it changed directions. How you can bend muscle and give the feeling of its bending. There is it's like I'm gonna wait a second. Okay, let me go through this one and then I'm gonna tell you how to do that. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this abductors, separated abductors, and then like you change directions. Change directions here. Okay, and then there's a numerous muscles here that is actually connecting over the calf muscles. There's a muscle here. Okay, how you turn the ball muscles? Do you mean by twisting? Like, let's say a forearm or something like twisting? Or do you mean like, what do you mean by bending? I'm kind of confused on the question a little bit. Twisting, okay. If it's twisting, then I'm not gonna sketch up. If I sketch up, I will be spending way too much time on it. So let me twisting and stretching. Okay, let me show you something. Where is my thing? Where's my thing? Ah, this one. This will be a great example. Twisting. You mean like this, right? Like the arm here is twisting, right? You mean like this? I think this one is a really great example here. Do I have another more example? Better example? Or this one? No, I think this one's better. So, in order for you to give it like a twisting effect, I'm gonna simplify something for you. Can you see it? Is it too dim? I don't know. Now you can see like, you can see like there is a line here. Overlapping lines. Remember we talked about the overlapping lines before? You can simplify it in like this. This feels like twisting, right? Like this. This is kind of like a really thick piece of thing. Right? You know, this feels like twisting, right? This. So this is what I have in mind when I drew this. Now you can actually turn this into this by you can observe like there is a here. And then this part here. Like this. This is what gives the illusion of twisting. It's the overlapping lines here. Hello. Hello, Dr. Zen. Hello, Stiffness. How are you doing? I always like your name, Sleepless. So true. Hello, we're doing an we're doing an art workshop. So this is what gives the illusion of twisting. Just focus on the overlapping lines. Remember, you overlapped it when you want to show a relationship between different objects, right? Like if I don't do this, you don't know which direction it bends. But if I do this, suddenly you know. There is like, it's twisting, right? This is really important here. Okay. Does that make any sense? At least that's what I learned from like drawing, you know. This is like it's kind of like the weapon, you know. This is kind of like the weapon thing, like the weapon, but it's like have like a volume to it, you know. Yeah. Have to learn the overlapping line techniques. It's more like a visualizing, you know. Because if you think about it, in this, if you can visualize this, then you will know I need to add like 2 lines here, you know. It's more like the organic shape kind of thing. It's a little bit difficult. I also have to wrap my head around this. This is quite difficult actually. So yeah. Here you can also see me using the overlapping lines here. This is why we don't draw it in like one single thing, right? If I draw it in one single thing, I don't know what direction it bends. If I draw it, I have like a line here in 2 parts, then I know, right? Okay. Now, back to the legs. That is actually a really great question. Change direction, overlapping lines. There's numerous like muscle groups connecting here. This part will become in really hand like really visible when we talk about the bending of the knee, like bending, like when you bend your knee. Okay, but like right now we just need to know there is like something here. There is like a muscle here to separate this inner part and the outer part, and then like there is a bone here. Okay, the landmarks is like this is a really great visualized landmarks. But on top of that, what we can do is that we know exactly which muscle goes where. Then we can draw like a more detailed. This is like a kind of have a vague idea of what a leg should look like. In trouble. Okay. How long have I been in trouble for the mic? Can you guys still hear me? I hope you can. Thank you, Yuzan. Thank you so much. My mic, man, is hanging by a thread. That's okay. Like, what I have in mind is that this. If we know it's good now, yeah. Like, if we know we have like a about this, it's a lot of information, yes, but then we can know, oh, there is like a bumpy part here because there is a bone here, right? Like the S and C line on top because like the flow. Am I? No. It's still doing the thing. Anatomy, yeah. It's still doing the thing. Why? Wait a second. My voice is low? Yeah, because it's not using my mic. It's using the laptop thing. My mic is not being picked up by the thing. Jesus Christ. Wait a second. Nah, it's busted. Hello? Okay, so it's okay now. Take my time, yeah. Okay, so there is a problem here. Let me try something, okay. There is a problem. There is a problem. This is not good. For some reason, the USB thing. Oh no. The mic is okay, but like I'm using one USB port to plug in the mic, and I don't have a USB port for my tablet. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, I think it's okay now. I think. Let's see if it works. Okay, it works. Okay, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. Okay, I'm not gonna touch it. Let me know if anything happens, okay? Where were we? Oh yeah, the anatomy. So we have like some kind of landmarks here, but if we know all the muscle groups, then we can add more details on it, okay? This is a kind of quick visual what we're gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about the pelvis, don't worry about it. Like a little bit, but like not too much. We're gonna talk about the femur and the bone, and then like the kind of muscle group, and then what it's gonna do, and also like how it affects you, how you draw it, okay? Also, it's my thing. I think it's okay. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm scared to touch it. Yeah. Now, bone structure. It's kind of similar to the arm. If you have been like my last workshop, it's kind of similar to the arm. There is like one larger bone on upper portion, and then two bones in the lower portion, okay? And what we need for this is a little bit notes. Okay, now this is the femur. Okay, and then there's two smaller bone that is from the knee to the foot. We're gonna talk about that later, but we're only gonna talk about the femur for now. There's one femur. Well, I can actually femur, and then there's two smaller bones. Okay, this is the tibia. And then there's the fibula. Okay, by the way, if I pronounce it incorrectly, just let me know, okay? Fibula, tibia, and then femur, okay? And then we also have like this little guy here. It's a kneecap. Okay, the kneecap. There is a technical term, sorry, but we're just gonna call it a kneecap. It's more easy to understand. And also we have the pelvis. Pelvis, there is a little bit to be taken care of, is that this part here, this here is really crucial, at least for from my experience, is when you're drawing like drawing the line here, is that you don't go straight like this, right? Go straight. Right? We talked about this. We don't go this, like we don't go straight, because like it's just give up. Like, I mean, it can work for like a kind of stylized thing, but like there is like a bone, right? There's bone, there's muscles, and in theory they like nobody have like a perfect hourglass body, right? You know those hourglass body, nobody has those. So there should be like a bump, okay? So there should be like, let's say, a bump here. And then usually here is like there is like I would draw like the obliques of it a little bit. This is gonna be the pelvis, okay? And then I'm gonna draw the obliques here. Usually it's like this, alright? Okay. I like this. So just don't go like a straight line, you know? Don't go like this. And also you see me doing the diagonal kind of disproportion asymmetrical way. Okay. Now we're gonna talk a little bit, just a tiny little bit about the pelvis, just a little bit. Don't mind all the thing. We only talk about a few things, okay? Like don't mind all these yada yada yada. We're not gonna talk about it. So we only talk about this right here, like this, and then this, okay? So we only talk about this two. So here, and then here. Okay, we only talk about this. The other part, don't worry about it. Okay. Now, these are very important landmarks for drawing the legs. Remember this one? Remember this fella here? So you can actually see like there's a pelvis bone, right? There should be a pelvis bone here. So there's like a bump here, and there's like a bump here. And there's actually these two fella here. Okay. Now, here. And this is like there is how do I say this? How do I say this without? This one is like a let you find the hip placement a little bit, like this part here. When we draw like, you remember we draw like the pelvis in like a triangle thingy. It's like the triangle, the point of the triangle is the point of this thing, this baby here, okay? And then this part is actually help us locate where we should start drawing our leg muscle here, okay? So there is this two part. That's quite a landmark, important, and don't worry about other things like blah blah blah. Don't worry about that, okay? And also this is like there is two parts here. You don't really need to know this, but like you just know that there is a part, two bumpy side here, okay? And this is where the muscle starts, okay? This is where the muscle starts of the leg. You don't really need to know this. You just need to know like, oh, there is a thing, there's like a bumpy side here, so this here. Like, you just only need to know this. There is a thing here, and this is where the muscle starts. Like, the muscle doesn't start here, doesn't start at the crotch. No, we start upward, okay? Just need to know that. Don't worry about like exterior, about the other. Like, there's so much technical terms, so we don't need to worry about it. Okay? I'm gonna draw like a little bit here. Landmarks. This is where we start the muscles. attached would be better. Okay. This. Okay. And more thing. This is like the great transfer. Remember this fellow here? Just I keep talking about this because it's really important. Remember, there's like a bumpy side here. This is actually a really great way to show like how you want to make your things drawing less, at least less, a more organic feeling here. You see? Okay, so if it's doing like this, this is like the oblique, sorry, this is obliques, and this is glutes. Okay, this is a great way to show them. Now, we're gonna talk about the muscles. Finally, we're moving on to the muscles. Now, muscles. There is like the quads. You know those like bodybuilders, the muscular thighs, those like crazy muscular thighs. This is the quads. The quads have like 4 muscles actually, but only 3 of them is actually visible. The other one is like tucked in there somewhere. We're not talking about it. We only worry about the one that is like visible and help us to draw something. Okay, we are not being a doctor. We are being an artist. Now, quad muscle extend the leg, and similar to how triceps, like the back of our arm, help extend our arms. Okay, this helps you extend the leg. When you straighten your legs, this will actually the quads have like 3 muscles. So this 3 muscle is actually going to be in place when you straighten your legs. So this is what we're going to talk about. First, they all have like a common incision point. Incision point being like the end point. They all have like these 3 muscles all have like a common same end point, which is being like the kneecaps here. And this is actually, there's a part being like a tendon. Tendon is like the white part of the muscles, you know, like a really thin tendon. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a little bit. So this is like, there's like a tendon here. There's like a tendon here. Okay, and they all end at the kneecaps. Okay, they all end at the kneecaps. There's like a tendon here. Okay, now this is called I don't know how to pronounce it. If you know, you know. If you don't know, just know that there is like a muscle on the outer side. It's called the lateralis. Okay, we're just gonna call it vastus lateralis. We're gonna call it like that. On your basement have the same build. Yeah. He has been chained up in the basement, only feed on like once a day with a slice of bread and like a cup of water, and still shredded like crazy. Yeah, my basement. Okay. He's still like chained up in the basement. Poor guy. Oh. Okay. Now, this is like you can see this is start at the grade. This is like the grade thing, right? This we're gonna do it. So this is the bone, the bulky part of the head of like the femur. It starts a little bit lower actually. Start a little bit lower. Okay. Got the reference. Clip this. I did I clip it? I forgot. Maybe. Let me look at the time marks on it. Okay, 1 hour is in. Okay, I'm gonna do it later. I'm gonna clip it later. Next is it start a little bit lower. Okay, at the front of the surface, incisions at the kneecap symbol, the outer 2 quadriceps. Okay. Start a little bit lower. You don't really see like there is like when you're drawing. Okay, remember that when you're drawing, you don't really see this end part here. It's just like it's a knowledge that you have. Okay, when you're drawing, it's more like this. Okay, when you're drawing, so don't don't go straight in and then go like this. Okay, when you're drawing, it's like, remember, like this. Okay. Okay. Start a little bit lower here. Okay, this is the second muscle. This one is on the outermost edges. Okay. On outermost muscles. Okay. And then this is like kind of also start at the great transcendent. I don't know how to pronounce the thing. Also starts here and end here. Okay. So the start position of it doesn't change. Here. And then end here. There's also a tendon part here. Okay. It's called the facet medialis. I'm gonna, okay, I like this here. We start at the top of the femur, going down along the media section, medial being like the inner section. Okay, going alongside the inner section, or like you can already see like there is, remember the C and S line we talked about? You can already see kind of like, twisting, right? Kind of like this. So it start on here on the front, and then it twists a little bit, and then it go down to the kneecap. Okay, so it's kind of like this direction. You can already see like that's why the C and S line is really important here. Okay. Now, there is another one here, and this is the third muscle that we're gonna talk about on the quads. Okay, at least the visible one. Now, it's actually connect the kneecaps and then the connects the kneecaps and the hip. You can see this. Okay, so this is a little bit different. A little bit different than this two here. So this one started at a femur. This one started at like a femur. Okay, but this one is like going above a little bit. Now this is like on top of two muscles. Okay, it's like this. When all three together, it's like this. So this one is actually covering the two. If you can see, if you can understand this, it's actually covering above the two one. So it's like a little bit on top. Can you fix your torso after workshop? Yes, definitely. And surrounding it to the left to right is highest sitting muscle on the leg. Keep that in mind as you draw the leg from front. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. There is like a muscle here. There's three groups of muscles, and this one being the on top, like being the top one. This one being the top one, and then the bottom there is like two. Okay. So there's two, and then there's on top, and all together it makes something like this. You can already kind of see the leg shape here. We're gonna talk about the knee. The knee is a really great problem, at least when I'm sketching. Okay, it's more problematic than like the muscle actually, but like the knee have really complicated parts, so we're gonna talk about it later. And then there is another muscles. There is a little bit area here, right? A little bit too much area. So then we have another muscles. This is the sartorius, Taurus. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Okay, but just know. This is actually the really important muscle here. This is what gave the legs a really good shape and flow. It separates the quads from the abductor. The abductor is here. The abductor is somewhere here. There's like an abductor here, okay? And this actually separates them. It separates the quads and then the abductor. I think we talked about this before, okay? I talked about this a little bit. And this is like we talked about, like on the pelvis there is like two bumpy sides, right? At a bumpy side. It starts at the bumpy side and end at the top of the tibia. So it's actually covering to like the lower bone here. Okay. This is a little bit to keep in mind. This is what gave like the kind of curved shape here. You know, when you draw like a leg, there's like a kind of here. So this is actually this, okay? This is like this. This gave like the curve here. So remember. Also keep in mind the flow. See? So it's like, you know, in like an angle line. Now there's like a IT band. I don't know. I don't know, is it called like the IT band or like IT band? Okay, so like there is like a muscles on the side. You know, when I first saw this, I was like, IT band, what? It's a long piece of connective tissue stretches across the quad, the outer quad muscles. Here is the outer quad muscles. It stretches alongside on it, and it just helps extend, abduct, and then like rotate it. There's like a lot of function on it, but like there's a thin piece of muscle, and it's not easily visible here. Okay, it's not easily visible, but it's in most stylized drawing, it's not. Like you can just omit this part, but like if you want to go for like a more bulky side of like a drawing, then you do need to know there is like something here, okay? You have the problem of drawing the start and the end of the muscle. Yeah, I do see that. I can actually show you how to do that. And it's actually going into like a little bit about the leg also. So let me find a good reference. Here, I'm gonna use this as an example. Here, so what I see you do is like this. Okay, what I see you do is this, and we don't do this. It's because like it gives you like a way too compartmentalized kind of feeling. Okay, so what we do is that lift out, and then we lift this part out. We lift the middle part out. This is the outer shape, so it do need to connect. Okay, but there is like a muscle here. This is like the tricep. Okay, and we don't do like this or like this. Okay, we do like a broken line kind of thing, just to just to sense there's like something there. And this part, it's because like the twisted, like the muscle here is twisted, right? So it's going up here. So then we would go like here. Okay, overlapping lines here. Remember, the more lines that you add to it, the more bulky it's gonna be if you place it correctly. So if you want like a less bulky size, maybe like this kind of. Like this would be also okay. Okay. I'm gonna correct your like sketches later after the workshop, so don't worry about it, okay? Okay. It's a long strip of muscle. Nah, it's fine. Long piece of connective tissue, and it's just down the side, so you don't really know. You don't really need to worry about it. But like, there is something there. Just so you know. Just so you know. Now we talked about the hamstring a little bit. Okay. So the hamstring is like the back of your thigh. We're talking about the hamstring, the back of your thigh, and the function is like a bicep. So it's kind of like vice versa. This is like a bicep and helps you contract, help you bend your knee. Okay. Okay. Now the hamstring is, I think, can I have like a, yeah, this is the hamstring. Yes. Hamstring. Now this is like, I'm gonna write down the names, you don't have to worry about it, but like if you want to, you can search up more reference on it, so that's why I'm writing it down. And like, you know, I don't even gonna pronounce this. Okay. Semimen. Why do medical, like, what you call it? See, how do you pronounce it? Tell me, how do you pronounce this? How? No one knows. That's why people don't like to be a doctors. That's why. Okay. Starts here at like this here, and then ends on the tibia here. Okay. The inner part of the tibia. So like the tibia is this is from like a back view. Okay, not to be confused on the front. Before we were talking about the front, this is like a back. So yeah, that's why people don't like to be doctors, man. It start here, ends here. Not too much fancy thing about it. Again, I'm gonna write down the name. If you want to, you can search up more. It's actually, the name is kind of funny here. Biceps. And then femurs. You know, they're like wanting our names, so they're like just okay, it's fine. Start here, a lower part here, and then this is actually interesting. This is ending outside of the fibula. So this is like the fibula, right? Fibula, sorry. Fibula, okay. And this is a tibia. Okay. This is actually ending outside, so yeah, you can kind of see it on the knee area. The knee, it's gonna be so difficult. Oh my god! Don't even get me started on the knee. So, and then there is another here. This is like the inner parts, like the inner parts of your thigh. Again, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Imagine, man. I would be, if I was a doctor, okay, if I was a doctor, I would be like, I know what to do about, like, let's say I know the procedure, but I would, for the fathom of me, I cannot name it. So whenever doctors help, like, other doctors ask me how to do the procedure, I would be like, yeah, so that muscle there, you have to do that, and that out there, and then like the ABC muscle, yeah, I'm gonna call it ABC. Yeah. Being like the most confusing like tutorial, whatever. Like, so there is like a thing there. You do that with the thing, and then it's like you are the one that's like learn by doing, but not by like, you know, I don't know. There is some learners that's like really great, just like learn by doing it, right? They know how to do the thing. They even know how to do it perfectly, but they just don't know how to explain it. I'm that type of person, so forgive me if my explanation is like not that great. So yeah. Okay. The muscle right there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The most important thing is that as it's actually having something to do with art as well. I'm talking about a lot of this, like what you call it, the name, whatever. You don't need to know them. You just need to know there is a thing there. And this hamstring is actually kind of like the quad. It's like a three-parted thing. You just need to know that, okay? You just need to know there's three-part things there. Like the quads. You only need to know there's different muscles there. Okay? The hamstring. Now we're gonna talk about the calves a little bit. The calves muscle is like a whole thing here. Calves. The back section bottom tip of the femur. So it's actually starting a little bit up, not like the on here. So it doesn't start here. This is quite surprised when I learned this. So it's actually start on the femur here. Okay. What? I forgot. So it actually start here and ends on the Achilles. You know the Achilles like kind of tendon that you can feel on your ankles, and that is that. Okay. Now, on top of all the things that we talked here, there is one more thing that we need to know. Any question right now, or like anything that kind of confused? Like, Pearly, you're not making sense. And any question right now? I'm only going through like where the muscles is and like things. If not, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm assuming there is not. Okay, all the muscles, you can see there is something that's highlighted in pink. What is that? Is that a butt? Yes, that is a butt. Now, the butt is like, no for me? Yes, that's good. The butt is actually a three-part muscles, okay? That's three-part muscles. And to make up some questions. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We are fine. So there is something that's highlighted in pink. Is the good muscle, okay? The glutes. Now, here, the butt. We're gonna talk about the butt. In order to draw the butt, you must one become the butt. No. Now, this origin is actually just covering the whole pelvis, right? We already know this. Okay, this is actually the bony part that's sticking out. You know, so that is like, I feel like a bony part. So there's also leg is very similar to arms. Yes. If you think that is always a great start. Now, this is like the glutes medius and maximus. We don't really know. Now, this here, the glutes and like the whole thing here is actually inserted here. Can I have a light there? Actually, there is like an insertion here. And this is actually the IT band. There's like a band here. Okay, remember we talked about the IT band. So this is actually what gives like when you draw something, you sometimes see me. Can I actually find some reference to show you guys? Yeah, I think this would be like a really great example here. So you see here, like here, and then here. So this is like the bony part, I think, like the, you know, so this part here, like a little bit concave into it, like here, this part here. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it makes sense to me, like. And then this is drawn on the dark side, yes. Yes. Now all the insertion is here on like the lateral femur, like the insertion here. We don't really know about this, but there is like, just know that there is like 3 things here. Let me merge that down. There's no 3 things here. Okay, there's 3 muscles, and it's actually make up the part here. Here. So it's gonna be a little bit. This is why there's like a bumpy side here. Okay. So this is what you need to think about. Okay. Don't worry about too much. Don't worry about too much. Just to know. Just to know. Now the abductors here is like the inner part of the muscles here. This is like what you can call, is quite important when you're drawing the thigh, especially. Helps shape the thigh a lot. It's generally originated from the pelvis and inserted in various points on the femur. We don't need to know that. It helps bring the leg back towards the middle of the body, like it contracts so your body can, like your leg can actually move inward. We don't need yeah, so it's mostly visible, and this is why it's important. This is important, like the remember this thing, what, I don't know how to say, this one here and then this here. So these 2 things is actually quite important. Okay, these 2 things, and then the glutes, of course, the glutes also here. Okay, it's quite important, just a little bit, you know. Now like the originator point and things, like you can always go back and see, at least from when I'm sketching right now, because I'm not drawing those like really bulky, like every muscle is visible type of body shape. So I don't really think the originate points, like the starting point and the end point of the muscle, it's gonna be that much of like a big of a deal. You just need to know that there is like a big group of muscle here, big group of muscle here, and it's actually overlapping each other a little bit on this here, maybe. You know, you just need to know that. But like, do you need to remember every single one, like, oh, this one start here, this one ends here, this one start here, this one? I don't really think so, unless you go for like a really weird some way, right? This color different and color by color. Yeah, true. The red part, the middle part, yeah, true. And I also really great. This is a really great reference because it helped compartmentalize it a lot, and also I appreciate that there is like a different color coding and things. This is really good. The next thing that we're gonna talk about is the kneecap a little bit. You see there is like a medial lateral side, and what we're gonna translate into a layman terms is that this one is the inside, this one is the outside. Okay, I messed with this a lot when I'm looking at the reference, so we're just gonna the in the out part of the thing. Okay, we're going for baby names here. Now at the knee joint, Can I show you guys a thing? Yeah. At the knee joints, the heads of the femur, here, the heads. This is what we call the head, by the way. This is like this part here. This is what we call the head. The head. There is actually a really complicated name for this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna call it the head. Okay. So at the femur, this is where the head and the femur, and then sorry, at the knee joint is where the femur of the heads, and then like the tibia, and then the fibula is like connected with like different really different like many parts of like the tendon, the muscle. They connect each other, and then like they help you articulate and things. And there is like a kneecap on top of it to protect them. You just need to know that. And like because they here connect, and the femur bone and the tibia, they come together, and it's quite massive. Often some of them can be even visible on the surface, like you can actually feel it when you touch your own knee. If you don't know, you can like kind of pose it in front of a mirror, and you can kind of just see it. You can see the bone, right? Then you understand? Yeah, body parts attached like mechanical. Yeah, definitely. And it actually amazed me. Okay, it actually amazed me, and it's actually really amazing. And like this is where like I don't know. This is like you can see it's really visible, I think. And like the patella. This is actually the kneecaps. Okay, I'm just gonna. This is the kneecap. I'm just gonna call it kneecaps. Okay, this is the kneecaps, and like it's actually connected with tendons, and it's unified the quad muscles, and all of them wrap into it, so it's like a whole thing. Okay? So where the tendons connect is a point here a little bit, which sometimes can make it seem like there are two kneecaps. Okay, so this is like the tendons here. This is the here, and this is the kneecap. I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail here, but like just a little bit foreshadowing. So this is the kneecap, right? And you may be asking, what is this part? This part is a tendon, and it's sometimes looking like there was like two kneecaps. No, there is like a tendon below the kneecaps. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. Now, we are gonna look at some things. We're gonna look at, where is it? Here. Okay. This is what I call about a tendon. Okay, so this is the kneecap, right? The kneecap, and then there's a tendon above and below it a little bit, the patellar tendon, you know. And this part, this little fella here. So we have the tendon, right? The tendon, and then there is like this thing here. This thing, I don't know if you can see. There is like this thing here. Okay, it's actually a little bit bony and like sticking out a little bit, and this is what gives like there is a two kneecaps illusion. Okay, so when you draw, you sometimes go like this, right? Here, kind of like this, right? So when you draw, you go like this. And this will be here, and then this will be like the kneecap. Okay, kneecap, and then the tendon part. So this is what we translate into. Okay, so it's in front on the top of the tibia here, and it's where the tendons attach. This is why it's so confusing, man. When I stretch for reference, it's so confusing. It's create a very visible bump on the surface, and sometimes look like a second kneecap. So just remember that you only have one kneecaps, okay? One kneecaps per knee, okay? Just remember that. Now, there is a bone on the knee joint here. Now the bone, we have like the femur, the tibia, and then the fibula, and also there is the patella with the kneecap, right? These are all the bones that we covered. The kneecap is major landmarks of the knee, regardless of the stylization of the drawing or like whatever. You sometimes see people do like something like, let's see, Sometimes people do like this, right? So whatever you stylize it, there is always 2 lines or something like to indicate there is like a knee here. Always, okay? So, okay? So regardless of the styles, there's always something. So, we're gonna talk about the patella a little bit. Patella. So this is actually kind of somewhat above the level of the joint formed by the femur and the tibia meeting. So here, so it's like a little bit above. This is where they meet, right? So it's a little bit above. Okay? So we're a little bit above it. And the joint between the femur is just below it, and then like each side of the patella is actually head. So each side of this is actually the head of the femur and tibia. There's only some knowledge for you guys, and you can see it's actually kind of create like a kind of box shape here. Okay, so this is like the thing, and then like 2 head, and this is like the tendon, right? So this is what I usually do when I draw. Like you see me drawing like this, like a diamond shape, and then I further detail like this. So this is why. Okay, yeah, it's just a diamond shape. Yeah, so this is why usually when you see me sketch, I do it like this, and then like I then further add details, like maybe like this, like you know. If you see me do like the, you know. Okay. So we are talking about bending now. Oh god, this is where it gets confusing. Now, when you see some people does it, there is a couple mistakes people do. Is that like, first, they're missing a knee. Of course, they're missing a knee. What? Oh. So first, they will be missing a knee here. So this is one mistake, okay? And the second mistake being like this is the like side view, okay? So mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 would be like when they bend, I also make the mistake. It's actually like this, okay? So this is not quite correct, as you can see here. So this is too pointy, right? Too pointy. And this is also not correct. Because like when bent, the head of the femur and the tibia become very visible on each side of the knee. You can see this here actually. Here. Become really visible, right? And then thus create kind of like a box shape here. Right here. So it kind of creates like a box shape, okay? So this is a little bit to remember when you're drawing, like when you're bending the knee, okay? It also depends on how far you want the bend to be. Okay, when straighten the femur and like, do I have another reference? Oh, I don't. When straighten, the femur and the tibia are still at the surface but not pushing as much. You can see this. They are still here, but they are not pushing like this, kind of like this, okay? This is a little bit to be careful about. Now, here, this is the side, this is the outer side of the reason why I was struggling on to understand this diagram a little bit is because I thought this was the inner side. No, this was the outer side, so this would be like the butt, okay? This is the outer side of the leg. So this is like the fibula. Fibula being a little bit like visible here. I'm gonna use another here. And this is the kneecaps. I'm gonna color them in different color. It's the kneecap. here, and then the tendon here. Okay, and there's like a tendon of the quads. Not quite visible, but there's like a slight bump here. Okay, so this you can see when you bend, this is what happens. Now why that happens, we can talk about it later. Okay. Knee joint outside, knee right side pain. Let me merge that down. Okay. So this is like the bone structure in behind it. Okay, this is the outside, this is the inside. Okay, you can see the tendons here. So when you twist the kneecaps here, right, and then it becomes like, because it bends and then like it moves up like kind of like this, right, and then the tendon here stretches, and this is why when you draw, you sometimes draw like this. Okay, and then the muscle here will be like this. I'm gonna show you guys some of the bent knee sketches that I did yesterday, and it's gonna show a little bit. The muscles of the quads can they go together on the, where is my reference? That one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Here. So here. So on the quad muscle here, they come together on the patella, on the kneecaps, right? They come together because we talked about they have all the endpoints going toward the kneecaps, but because there's like a tendon here, they are not muscles, and sometimes what it does is like it creates a sharp line, and also like because it's flat, so it sometimes create like a sharp line, become like the so this will be the muscles here. This is flat, okay, and then there's like a sharp line here. So this is what happens, right? This is why I create the lines. Okay, so it's like this. Just a little bit to be careful. So there's like a little bit distance here. There's a little bit distance. Okay, a little bit. Not too much. I'm finding the reference that I have. Wait a second. Yeah. And this is like the. This is kind of like tripod muscles. A tripod. No, this is like the muscles that we have here, and it's like a sartorius. We'll talk about the thigh with twisting around it, and then like you don't really need to know this, but like it's just there is like some part of muscles here, and then it's connected towards the tibia, toward the tibia inner knee. You can always say the inner knee here, and then like on can I have it here? You just remember this part here. Also, there is a muscle here going down here, going down, and then and then kind of sticking to it on top of the calves a little bit. This is what gave like the this is what gave like the bulk of like where is it? No, wait a second. Let me delete something. Okay. No. What have I done? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I need to go over something here. Okay, so this is actually what gives you the here. Remember this thing? Here. So this is this part here. Okay, here. Can I draw on it, please? Here. Okay. This is endless maze, yeah. But once you understand it, it's quite easy to understand. Just when you know, when you draw the thing, when you draw like sketching and things, often the curves on the inner side is actually usually lower. So what I mean by that is like this. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm not gonna draw this again. I'm too lazy. Copy. What? Oh yeah. Copy. Okay, so when you draw, just remember this. When the curves happens here, it's often like lower a little bit. So like in diagonal, okay? So curves here and then lower a little bit. So yeah, kind of like this. Okay, so inner side of the curves is usually lower. Just a little bit, you know, for more organic feel and flow. And usually you need to know about some things is that these when we draw like the ideal, right, you kind of like this. But more often than not, when you like, it's a little bit tilted, like kind of here, kind of like this. It's a little bit slightly tilted. So yeah, just a little bit. I'm gonna show you some things. I'm gonna show you guys something, okay? I forgot to import this thing for a second. Okay, now this is like the knee, the bending thing, emotion. Okay, just a little bit, you know. Here, you can see it. This is a really great example, I think. And this is what we're gonna talk about a little bit. Let me rasterize all this right. Do I have another thing? Yes, I do. Okay. Now this is actually what we're gonna talk about a little bit. The bulkiness of the muscles. Okay. The bulkiness of the muscle. Now you can see when you bulk up here. Let me. Like there's a lot more detail lines on it, right? There's a lot more detail lines. Further, like comparing to like the less muscular person here. This doesn't bulk up here because this doesn't bulk up because this is like a tendon, right? We talked about this. Okay. It depends on how bulky or like how slim you want the body type is gonna be. So this is like the really macho person, and this is like kind of usually what people going for, I think. You know, just a little bit reference. Also, I found that adding more lines and details on, like you can see this here actually, like the lines of the details increases and then the bulkiness increases. So this is like maybe because why my sketches sometimes kind of look like a bulky person. I don't know. This is like kind of the inner part of the arm. You can see that there's like 2 lines here to indicate. Okay, because like the calf muscle actually extend toward upper to the femur, right? So this is like the femur ended and it's actually up a little bit. So yeah, just a little bit information. And you can see the reason that I drew this out at this is like this is a really slim but muscular person, so you can already see the muscles and things, and you can already see that like the knee is like tilted a little bit, so the kneecaps is actually here, and this is the bone, and this is the muscles here. So it's not like in the reference like when you're drawing an ideal person body, whatever, it's like straight, right? Like the diamond shape being like here, but like it's actually tilted a little bit. So yeah, just to keep in mind of that. Okay, and you can see like as they bend, it's become wider, right? Become wider. So this is a really great example. And this is actually the reference that I used on a kind of test practice thing before I, show you guys what I found. And I can show you what I did with the reference. Let me do something. No, this one. Here. Let me drink something with it. Okay, kind of like this. And this you can see like as they bend, it become wider. Right, this is like this part maybe this is to be the kneecaps, right? And then this is like the 2-headed thing, and then there's like a tendon. It's quite difficult, I must say. It's quite difficult when drawing this, I must say it's quite difficult. And I don't know why it's difficult. I sincerely don't. Now it's a little complicated, yes. Because all we talked about is like the knowledge or like the muscle behind it, but how we turn that into something that we can comprehend when looking some reference. Now that is where the practice comes in. I think like the only problem that I'm having right now is the bending, right? The bending. There's not much tips that I can go through here other than just sheer practice. I do think the one thing that helps me the most is like when I'm sketching a knee, I usually go for like a kind of like this shape, an open-ended diamond shapey thingy. I don't know what you call it. Like this, and then I further detail it a little bit more. So this is what helps me, I think, at least. Yeah. Now, any chance you guys have any questions? I will be doing my best to answer them. Not because you didn't draw legs. Yeah, it's fine. You can go all through. It's okay. You can go through the materials when you don't have time and things. And if you come into something, then yeah. I just want to stress about like you don't really need to know all the muscles that I talked about. You just need to know there is something there. Okay, like there is a little vague idea of where all of the things are, and then you should be good to go. Like you don't need to know exactly where they are. Okay. Okay. Now, I would say in order for you to practice this, I think find a reference that kind of like this, like the what I'm showing here. I kind of having trouble finding reference only legs on Pinterest, so I would suggest using like gesture drawing, poses drawing, and then like just focus on the leg parts. Ideally with this, not much clothing onto it. Okay, ideally, and then draw alongside with it. This is what I recommend. I searched a little bit about just the leg reference on Pinterest, and I don't know, maybe they don't have those, but like you can just search up like gesture drawings, and then like you can just not focus on other part of the body, just focus on the legs, and that's okay. That's also okay. And I think like line of action and like the pose mini X also helps, but there is one problem with pose mini X is that like they have all the muscles there. It's really great for muscle visualization, but like because it's a 3D model, sometimes it feels a little bit clunky or like not natural the way that they bend. So yeah, I would suggest using pose mini X and also a combination with real life photos to practice, if that makes sense. Yeah. Now what do I do? I'm gonna end this, and then like I'm thinking, should I do a drawing stream, or should I maybe I may need to do like another dissection, I don't know, on the knee. I don't know. I want to do a more deep dive on the knee as well. We are barely scratching the surface of it today. We only talked about different muscles and like, yeah. So I don't think today's workshop is as informative as I think it would be. So sorry about that. Do I do like a drawing stream? I kind of don't know. I sincerely don't know. I don't know. Let me think. Let me think about what I need to do today. Well, I'm not gonna stream like today now. I think I need to do something off stream. So, but I'm gonna use the voice chat. So, if you guys want to hang out, go to the Discord voice chat, and I'm gonna be there. I'm just not gonna stream like public, whatever. I don't. Because sometimes when I'm using voice chat, I can be like as that quiet as I want to be. So yeah. Okay. Now, if you guys excuse me, I'm gonna go now. Any question? If no, your torso? Yeah, I think we can move to voice chat right now on the torso. Right? Right now? Are you free right now? We can do like torso right now. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go to the Discord right now. Okay, so see you guys. I'm gonna be working on something off stream, so if you guys want to hang out, go to the Discord voice chat, okay? Yeah. Do you guys know the Discord actually? I'm gonna add Discord. Mutual vision, yeah. There's a Discord. It's only on the Twitch side. Well, never mind. It's fine. Yeah. See you guys. Okay. There you go. Yeah. So the Discord, we're gonna post like every 2 weeks on the workshop, and yeah. So bye bye. I don't know how to end this. Bye bye.